All right, let's talk about AI. If you feel like you're constantly trying to catch up, like you're a little bit behind on the tools, the jargon, all of it, you are definitely not alone. So, in the next few minutes, we're going to cut through all that noise. We're going to give you the simple, essential foundation you need to actually feel confident using artificial intelligence. And look, it's totally understandable. From ChatGPT to Midjourney, it seems like a new AI tool pops up every single day. It can feel like you're trying to drink from a fire hose, right? But here's the secret. You don't need to know everything. You just need to get the fundamentals right, and that's exactly what we're about to do. So what's our game plan? Well, we're going straight to the source. We've taken Google's own AI Essentials course and boiled it all down into 5 key takeaways. This isn't just a bunch of theory, okay? This is your practical, hands-on cheat sheet to get you started. Okay, first things first. To make sense of any of this, you need a mental map. Because, not all AI is created equal. The good news is, pretty much every AI tool you'll ever run into fits neatly into one of just 3 main categories. So this is basically the entire landscape. First, you've got your standalone tools. Think of these as destinations. You go to a specific website like ChatGPT or Midjourney to use them. Then there's integrated AI. This is the magic that's already built into the software you use every day, like Gemini helping you write in Google Docs. And finally, you have custom solutions. These are super specific tools built for one and only one job, like an AI that helps a doctor spot a disease early. Now, let's talk about those custom tools for a second. You'd think they must be incredibly complex to use, right? But here's the thing that's kind of wild. The best ones are designed to be dead simple. The whole point of a custom AI, like one that helps a sales team figure out which leads to call first, is that the person using it shouldn't need any tech skills at all. It just works. Okay, so now we know the different types of AI. That's great, but how do you actually get them to do what you want? Well, that brings us to what is easily the most important skill you can learn right now, the art of the prompt. The number one rule of talking to an AI, you have to state the obvious. Think about it this way. If your friend who's a vegetarian asks you for a restaurant recommendation, you're not going to suggest a steakhouse, right? That's what we call implied context. We humans just get it. AI has absolutely no common sense. You have to spell out every single detail. And this slide right here shows the night and day difference. On the left, you've got this super vague request, help me brainstorm negotiation techniques. You're just going to get a bunch of generic, useless advice. But look at the one on the right. You add that context. I want a 15% raise, I'm a top performer, the average is 12%. All of a sudden, the AI has the specific fuel it needs to give you a powerful, tailored strategy that you can actually use. Okay, here's another bit of jargon you're going to hear all the time. Zero shot versus few shot. It sounds really technical and complicated, but I promise you it's not. Just remember this. Shot is just a fancy word for example. That's it. So zero shot means you give it 0 examples, and few shot means you give it a few examples to learn from. Simple. So a zero shot prompt is just a straight up command with no examples to guide it. Like this one. You're basically just crossing your fingers and hoping the AI figures out the style and the tone that you're looking for on its own. It's a total gamble. A few shot prompt, though, is way smarter. This is the pro move. You give the AI the same task, but this time you also feed it 2 or 3 examples of pickup lines that are actually good, the style you want. By showing it what good looks like, you give it a clear pattern to follow, and the response you get back is going to be so much better. But what about those really big, complicated tasks? If you ask for too much all at once, the AI can kind of get confused and short-circuit. And that's where this amazing technique called chain of thought prompting comes in. And really, the name says it all. You just guide the AI step by step, almost like you're holding its hand. Let's use writing a cover letter as an example. Instead of just saying, write me a cover letter, which is going to give you something super generic, you break it down. You start with, write me 3 attention-grabbing opening sentences. You pick the best one. Then you say, okay, based on that opening, now write the body. By working in these smaller pieces, you stay in control, and the final result is 1,000 times better. So we've covered how to get amazing results from AI. But this next part is just as important, maybe even more so. You have to understand its limitations. Think of this next section as reading the fine print. This is the stuff you absolutely need to know. There are 3 huge limitations you have to keep in the back of your mind, always. First, bias. The The AI learns from human data from the internet, so it can pick up all of our human biases. Second, information cutoffs. Most of these models have no idea what happened after their training date, so don't ask it about yesterday's news. And finally, the big one, hallucinations. This is when the AI just confidently makes stuff up. It sounds totally plausible, but it is 100% wrong.
Knowing about these blind spots is half the battle, right? But what's the other half? How do you actually work around them and use these tools safely and effectively?
It all comes down to one golden rule. Just remember this. Treat AI like a brilliant, super fast, but sometimes unreliable intern. For anything that's high stakes, we're talking health advice, financial info, critical career stuff, use its output as a first draft. Never, ever as the final word. The responsibility to double-check the facts is always, always on you.
All right, we have covered a lot of ground. We've gone from the what to the how and, importantly, the what to watch out for. So let's condense all of that down into a simple, powerful toolkit that you can start using today. Here it is, your AI Starter Kit. First, know the 3 types of AI so you use the right tool for the job. Number 2, always give it context so you get specific, useful answers. 3, give it examples. That's few-shot prompting to guide its output. 4, break down those big tasks into smaller steps. And number 5, most importantly, always be aware of its limitations so you can use it wisely.
And that's really it. That's the foundation. With just these simple concepts, you now have a more practical, real-world understanding of AI than most people out there. These tools are pretty simple when you break them down, but what you can do with them is absolutely enormous. So the only question left is, what are you going to build first?